Hello, everybody. Welcome to Most Wanted Topics. I'm your host, Kevin Dennison, along with me, Atomic Tommy per use. How you doing, Atomic Tommy?
You know, not too bad. We're in a bit of a different setup here.
We're in a different setup because we have a lot to talk about. We are going to run through some stuff. I tell you what, we are broadcasting to you from a different spot not in our studio, in our main showroom at Most Wanted Comics here in beautiful Bloomington, Minnesota. And let me tell you what, we have quite a showroom to show you today.
Yes, we do.
And we even have a big add-on, which you can see right in front of us. We have the Drome, which is a rare piece, which the Mighty Mafu will be here to talk about in a few minutes. But I got to tell you what, we have vintage toys, we have comic books, we have new comics to talk about, and we have a big week this week. Tomorrow, Tuesday night, is Tuesday night main event where we cover up the long boxes and bring out all the cards. We have Magic cards. We have Pokemon cards. We have sports cards. I tell you what, we have lots of bangers to throw out here. So we cover the long boxes, bring out all the sports cards, gaming cards, Marvel cards, you name it. We've got them out on the display cases. So make sure you come from 5:30 to 8, Most Wanted Comics, and check out all the cards. And then also, Saturday,
September 14th.
it is Tito Santana week.
It is. We just got the 8x10 photos printed and received today that will be available for purchase on Saturday. Things are heating up. We're getting ready.
Tito told me he was going to bring some T-shirts to sell.
Yep, he's going to be bringing some merch, so you can watch out for that. Tito always comes prepared from what I hear. So
he's prepared. He's ready to go. The guy is a living legend, so make sure you come out and if you want more details, go to mostwantedcomics.com. We have all the deets on there, and you can also check it out on Facebook as well. Make sure you check out our socials, check out our website for all the details. Tito Santana, 10:30 to 2:30. Yep. He will be here signing autographs and taking pictures, and we look forward to having a great time with another living legend. But let's get to the business at hand. We have a lot to talk about.
We do.
Let's get right into it. Take it away, Atomic Tommy.
All right, let's talk some new comics. Again, we're in a different setup, guys. This right here is our new comics wall here. We keep all our new comics here for the week. This is stuff that you're seeing here that's from last week before we put up the stuff for this week. But let's just dive right in and recap some of the stuff that came out last week because there was a lot of cool stuff. Let's start with Daredevil up here. You can see Daredevil right here. Man, what an incredible issue this week. It features pretty heavily Kingpin and Daredevil, two characters that are not strangers to each other in this series. Daredevil and Kingpin face off all the time, but this time is a little bit different because this time Daredevil fought a demon-possessed Kingpin. For the whole run, Daredevil has been facing off against demon incarnations of the 7 deadly sins that have been possessing people either close to or enemies of Daredevil. And I think it was greed that possessed Kingpin, and they fought for a couple issues, but this is sort of the aftermath of that. The aftermath of Kingpin getting possessed by a demon, and we see a different side to him in this issue, and it's actually really cool. Following being possessed, Kingpin, he kneels down at Daredevil's side, grabs his hand, and just says, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned," and just stays in prayer at Daredevil's side for hours. It was really, really cool. And even when Daredevil, because Elektra's there, and Elektra's like, "Daredevil, you got to be careful. He could be lying. He could be trying to, manipulate you or defeat you here." And Matthew and Murdoch, Daredevil just goes, "I've never heard anyone be so truthful in my life." It was a really cool moment in this book here. And it was just really, it was a really cool side of Kingpin, a vulnerable side, a weak side of Kingpin that we've never seen before, and it was done really well. Daredevil, if you're not reading it, is really, really good in general, so you got to be reading Daredevil. But let's talk about a book that I mentioned last week, Plastic Man No More. Wow, this book is a clear example as to how the Black Label DC titles are keeping the brand alive. I'll tell you, if it wasn't for these more, I guess you could say, mature or older audience-themed stories that are a little bit edgier, I guess you could say. Not really, though, but I don't know what DC would have because this book is just super incredible. It perfectly nails the character of Plastic Man, how people like the Justice League view Plastic Man, the struggles he deals with both in his past and moving forward. It's a really cool story. It's a new Plastic Man story that even in the first issue dives really deep into his character, and it's just really good. So if you haven't checked out Plastic Man yet, you got to get a copy. It's really good. The final book I want to talk about, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but I'll move it up here. Ultimates number 4. I'll set it right here. Wow. I mean, I'm probably not the first person to talk about Ultimates number 4, but this is probably one of the best books released in the Ultimates lineup in its entirety. Between the Ultimates, Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Black Panther, Ultimate X-Men, this is one of the best released. What they do with Reed Richards' Doom, how they explain and tell his origin story, really good. Hits all the right emotional strings that they wanted to. Just an incredible book. I'm probably not the first person to talk about it, but I had to mention it. Ultimate's incredible. But let's talk about now, moving away from this week, an honorable mention, though, I have to mention, Exceptional X-Men. I don't want to talk too much about it because it wasn't my favorite, but it was still pretty good, and you have to check it out. But anyway, let's talk about what's coming up next week here. We got 3 books that I think we should mention. How about Wolverine number 1? Yes, another X-Men book, but this one I think is going to be pretty popular. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Wolverine number 1 comes out this week. Again, one I think just everybody's kind of looking forward to. Also, another Marvel book, Avengers Assemble number 1. A new Avengers title. You know, Avengers has done some really interesting stuff lately, you know. Adding Storm back into the Avengers. That happened in issue 17, which was a couple weeks ago. That was sort of a big deal. But Avengers Assemble comes out with, I guess you could say, an MCU-friendly Avengers lineup. You know, people like She-Hulk and Shang-Chi. You know, it's a lineup that features more prevalent and current MCU characters. And also moving over, we have TMNT number 2. For those TMNT fans out there, that comes out this week as well. So yeah, but that's new comics for the week. Here's the setup. If you guys can see, if you guys come into Most Wanted Comics and you want your new comics, they're going to be right here. So come on in, get your new comics from Most Wanted, and let's take it back.
All right, here, the best Cobra playset ever made. In 1986, Hasbro thought, no, the Majos have the flag. Let's give Cobra the Drome. It's so awesome. Look how big it is.
It is a spectacle. It is a sight to behold. And I bet this was, I mean, I couldn't get it because when I was a kid, I was fortunate enough to get the G.I. Joe. I had the headquarters. But my parents, obviously, we couldn't afford all the big play sets.
Right.
And we didn't have room in our house. I grew up in a typical Rambler.
True.
You started talking with all these mega sets because you also had other lines with mega sets, too, like Masters of the Universe. You just couldn't fit all that in your house.
Right.
So you had to make choices. This was definitely a Christmas main eventer or a birthday main eventer. You know, this is one of those on the list.
Yeah, and the gimmick every kid wanted was the Fire Bat. Look at this thing. Foldable wings. Wings can come out, so if you wanted to recreate the scenes from the cartoon when they steal the DNA, you can fly it back here. And it's really cool because it has the launching mechanism, and we even have the blueprints for it. In this little bag, you can see the instructions for the Firebat.
Yeah, all the paperwork is here, ladies and gentlemen. We got 3 sets of paperwork. We have the decal instructions, the Firebat instructions, and the playset instructions. So all 3 pieces of paperwork are included in this. It came with it. This piece was well taken care of. The person that had it took very good care, and now we want to give it a good home.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in this piece, you know, we encourage you to come to Most Wanted Comics, email us, you know, Facebook message us. It's just a nice piece. Also, if you have any, you know, questions or comments, feel free to go ahead and do that here on the YouTube channel. But it's the Drome. What else can you say? Can you talk any more? Oh, the figure too. Tell us about the figure.
So it did come with the figure, just like with the flag. It came with the AVAC pilot, and we even had the file card. Look at that file card.
The file card's nice. Yep.
And
the decals on this thing are in pretty good shape as well. I mean, obviously, I can't say to 100% of them are still on, but it is the stickers held up beautifully. The decals are wonderful. There's not a lot of peeling going on. They held up well.
Yeah, because, you know, you would usually see the stickers peeling, but this one you don't see any of that. And it's not broken, actually, except for one little peg.
Yep.
But
there's one little stress piece, but it still holds up on the peg on the wall here. So
but it's still in beautiful shape. great.
Yeah, so
And
come to
it's
Most
complete.
Wanted Comics. You know, it goes along well with our other big piece that we have. We do have the Return of the Jedi Imperial shuttle as well.
Yes.
With the box, no paperwork, but the shuttle is complete and it has the box. Yeah, if you want vintage toys or the best selection of back issue comics, you come to Most Wanted Comics.
We have the best back issue.
Yeah, best back
Ever.
issues, vintage toys, modern comics, vintage comics. I tell you what, make sure if you're traveling on a road trip, you put Most Wanted Comics on your list. And also make sure to check out the Terror Drome here at Most Wanted Comics. Mighty Mafu, anything else before we let go here?
Well, just a reminder that Tito Santana this Saturday.
Oh, we're excited for that one. Yep. Tito Santana coming this Saturday. All right, thanks a lot, Mighty Mafu. Back to school work with you.
I know.
Well, good job on the comics, Tommy. I tell you what, you always got great info for us. And I tell you what, Mighty Mafu came in, took a break from his schoolwork and wanted to talk. There was no way he was going to miss talking about the Terror Drome. So
Yeah, no kidding.
we hope people come and enjoy
He's
the
excited.
selection on Most Wanted Comics. And we look forward to having a great week with all our customers with the main event on Tuesday. And then, of course, Tito Santana on Saturday. And then look forward to more announcements. We have more guests coming.
We do. Coming up in October.
In October, we have guests. We're going to announce that next week. We just got done getting that taken care of. And it's going to be a Tuesday night main event signing.
If you've been underestimating our Tuesday night main events, it's time to stop. Because we're going to be bringing it strong here in October with a Tuesday night signing.
Yeah, and then keep in mind, too, we have Yojo Vember coming up in November.
Yojo-vember.
So
We'll
stay
have some
tuned
stuff
for a
coming up for
surprise
that.
guest coming in for G.I. Joe month in November here at Most Wanted Comics. And October, start prepping because, that's our big food drive for Veep.
Yep.
So stock up on your grocery shopping, get some non-perishables because we expect bags of groceries, and we know that we have the best customers in the world that participate. We want to set a good tone for the food shelves here in Bloomington. We want to set a good example for Veep, and we want to come in strong with our Stuff Along Box campaign.
Absolutely.
So start prepping now. You get those coupons clipped and get your canned goods bought. We want to present Veep with a nice line of groceries.
That we do.
So, all right, with that, everybody, you guys have a great week out there. We'll see you for Tito Santana, and see you next time, everybody.